Turn off your phones. Turn down the ringers. Okay. So it's Isabel. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our council meeting, February 4th, 2025, as we head into the Frosty Festival. Good to see my colleagues, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of each other over the next week to 10 days. Don't say it, Councillor Antle. The frosty flu may come across our brow, but not right now, not tonight. So welcome, everybody. We have some guests here for proclamations. And I need a motion as we speak in order to adopt the agenda. Thank you, Councillor Lane. Moved by Councillor Lane, second by Councillor Fry. All in favor? Those opposed? And that is carried. There is a 10-second delay, I think, with YouTube, right? If that's your thing. In recognition of the City of Mount Pearl's commitment to foster respectful and collaborative relationships with Indigenous peoples in the City of Mount Pearl and beyond, we hereby acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. Mount Pearl and the broader metro region continue to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. The minutes of the previous meeting, January 21st, are before you. Any errors or omissions, council, before we adopt? Hearing none, I'm going to call for a motion. Thank you, Councillor Rice. Second by Councillor Antle, that we adopt those minutes. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried as well. Any business arising? Hearing none, and no hands are up. There's a proclamation before us, council, and we're joined by two guests with I'm thinking this is with the Scouts organization, and I'm pleased to welcome James Legg and his daughter, Catherine. Good to see you. Both legs are here tonight. And I'll read the proclamation. And I want to say before I do, just thank you for volunteering and all the hard work you do, James. Catherine, thank you, because I think you're a future leader of our city. So thank you for participating in Guides, is it? Yeah, all right. Good to see. And Scout. Oh, Scouts. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Whereas Scout Guide Week is a time-honored tradition that celebrates the contributions of Scouts and Guides to our community and highlights the values of service, leadership, and environmental stewardship that these programs instill in youth. And whereas Scout Guide Week commemorates the shared birthdays of Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of Scouting, and Lady Olav Baden-Powell, the World Chief Guide, who together inspired the global movement that continues to thrive today. Whereas the City of Mount Pearl recognizes the significant contributions of scouting and guiding organizations to the development of young people in our community, and where Scouts and Guides provide opportunities for personal growth, leadership, outdoor education, and community service to all youth of all ages, backgrounds, and abilities. Whereas the values of scouting and guiding align with the city's commitment to fostering engaged, responsible, and compassionate citizens. I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, on behalf of my colleagues here on council, we do hereby proclaim February 17th to the 22nd as Scout Guide Week, and it's a time to celebrate the enduring legacy of these programs and their positive impact on individuals and, as we all know, council, the community as a whole. So we thought we would just do a picture, I think at the request of the legs, unless my colleagues would like to chime in and make any comments. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. As a former Sparks leader and somebody, yeah, and also somebody that went out through the scouting Model of Right when I was, I think, 16. And we had gone to Mars, actually, and we done a camping trip, and it changed my life. I'll be absolutely honest. It gave me a revived sense of how amazing our province is, what the like environmental stewardship, meeting new friends, learning how to cook with a squid, um, and all sorts of other things. I loved it. So I just want to say thank you for coming. And this is an incredible, important um, week because really what you're doing is representing an organization that is building leaders and that is building the vision that we need to lead this world and make it a better place. So no pressure, but one step at a time. And I think what you're doing right now is fabulous. And I thank you very much for attending, guys and girls. Thank you.
I didn't know there was squid on Mars.
It's there is ice. There isn't. It was, but yeah, you're right. You're right. I should say the Mars camping ground.
Well, we got Mark here from the Pearl. I was hoping for a real good scoop here tonight. Why don't we do a picture and invite the legs up, Council? And I apologize to the deputy mayor, but Newfoundland has the most wonderful place names, does it not? Hey? Folks, the next item on the agenda is a proclamation related and originating with the United Way of Canada, and has to do with the 211 service. And I think for 2 years in a row, I'm happy to invite Lisa Marie Fifield, and she's the Executive Director of the United Way of Newfoundland and Labrador. Lisa Marie, would you like to join us? Yes, please. Yeah, 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 yeah. How about I do a reading and then get you to comment on it? Would you like to do that? Yeah, come on up if you'd like. I'll get the microphone activated. Good to meet you. Yeah, thank you. Every year on February 11th, United Way and 211s across Canada celebrate National 211 Day. And 211 Day is a public awareness initiative for the award-winning 211 service that helps guide individuals and families through the complex network of human services by phone, online, live chat, and email. Whereas 211 is a free and confidential service available 24/7 in 170 plus languages by phone and a broad database of programs and services that can be found at nl211.ca. That's nl.211.ca. The service is also available via chat and email, and residents in Newfoundland and Labrador can contact 211 for information and referral to health services and mental health supports, income support and financial assistance, food banks, meal programs and grocery delivery, housing help and emergency shelter, support services for seniors and persons with disabilities, and more. Whereas 211 Newfoundland and Labrador will be using National 211 Day as an opportunity to promote its services by inviting municipalities to proclaim February the 11th, 211, as 211 Day, organizing building illuminations, distributing 211 promotional materials, and offering information sessions both in person and virtually. Therefore, I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, and my colleagues on council, we do hereby proclaim Tuesday, the 11th of February, as 211 Day in Mount Pearl. And I'm happy to sign the proclamation, Lisa Marie, and name one thing that you want us to leave here with tonight about 211. Because I know you've got a lot on your plate based on that proclamation. And thank you for all the services you provide to our community. Oh, and thank you very much. Deputy Mayor wanted to comment, I believe.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think that's an incredible important point is 211 didn't exist. And I remember a time before that. And what it did during the time of COVID in the province, and that's where I think people realized we need all of this coordination. We need people delivering food. We need to know where the mental health supports are. We need to know where our community is because you can't access that during a lockdown. And I think from that idea, we recognized there's more to this that can not just be a response and an incredible response. I thank you guys for being the head steer to that in the province to COVID, but it also ensures that moving forward, people are gaining better access to services, essential services. So I think that's a great. I'm going to think myself of like what are things that I've reached out to or have asked somebody about or told somebody about, because word of mouth is just as good as it. A word of mouth is. You need something larger, broader that everyone can access. So thank you for that.
Council, how about we get another stamp? Thank you, Lisa Marie. Well, she can't relax as much as you think. Next committee is Recreation and Community Safety Committee. Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. So first on our agenda tonight is an item regarding community public safety plan. So the city remains committed to making Mount Pearl a safer place. That's something that we're all serious about. Our municipal enforcement officers continue to patrol the streets, the parks, the trails, and other city areas. Quarterly municipal enforcement statistics will be posted on the city's website, so residents can go in and look and see exactly what is happening. We are also recruiting community members to join our Community Public Safety Steering Committee. So if anybody is interested, please reach out. And additionally, city staff meet biweekly with officials from the Department of Justice and Public Safety to complete Mount Pearl's Community Safety and Wellness Plan. So this is an ongoing initiative for us, and it's top of mind, and we're working towards making it a safer and better place. And that's it for me. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Councillor Locke, for the remainder of our committee report.
One moment, if you don't mind. I think Councillor Andel has a question.
Thank you, Councillor Fry. I'm really happy to see this here. What exactly are we recruiting for the Community Public Safety Committee, and where can you find information about that?
Thank you, Councillor Antle. City staff are working with the Department of Justice. They're looking for people from key stakeholders. So they're actually reaching out, recruiting. So there is kind of certain positions that are generally associated with these steering committees. These community safety plans are in communities across the country. So there is kind of a template that they're following. So staff are currently reaching out to members in Mount Pearl, as well as representatives from the province and others.
Third time is lucky. Yeah, when I just want to, because if anybody's listening, or for a minute, when you say members, you mean what members are you? Groups or something? Thank you.
So we're being very strategic of who we're looking for on the steering committee, but it will likely end up being representatives from the RNC, local schools, social workers, education, healthcare, people with lived experiences. So that's been the work that the committee has been talking about and are out trying to recruit people for the steering committee.
Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. And just further to Councillor Antel's query there and Director Collins' response. We're looking at a steering committee of probably 10 to 12 people. And I'm quite impressed with the level of work that's been ongoing, despite the fact that we had our public meeting just before Christmas and the Christmas break, which things usually slow down. We still are making great strides on this. You can imagine that it takes some time to, get a steering committee in place. I know that we have been meeting, staff have been meeting regularly with Justice, and I think there's a meeting scheduled for tomorrow. So there's been ongoing communication. I just want to assure the public, as we committed to during that public meeting in December, that we're not sat on our haunches here. We are actively engaged, as are the members, like you said, from the RNC, Public Justice and Safety. So they are involved, and I'm pleased with the progress that's being made. And once this steering committee gets in place, then you'll see, more action taking place.
Is there a time frame, or when can we expect to see this committee in place?
The first committee meeting is scheduled the week of February 17th. So based on who's recruited, will dictate the exact date and time, because depending on who's around the table will determine whether it's daytime meetings, evening meetings, things like that. But when they're recruiting, that's what they're saying is the week of February 17th. So that'll be the first meeting, and then that will help identify the needs in Mount Pearl.
All right, back to you, Councillor Locke, and the continuation of the committee report.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Director Collins, for the the detailed information there. The second for our committee, Mayor, is the Admiralty House Communications Museum, and this has to do with their 2025 operating grant. Our committee is recommending approval to release the first installment of their subsidy, and that's in the amount, excuse me, of $57,500. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Locke, second by Councillor Fry. Any questions? I have one for afterwards, but I'll call the motion. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried. Would you be able to table here the visitorship? I want to know, on behalf of the city and perhaps on behalf of council, we pay out $100,000 a year. This is one installment of two, I believe. What is the number of visitors to Admiralty House? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at the end of the day. Just curious. Do we have that number now?
We might not have it, I don't have it at hand, but I think the data are included in our report for later, our committee of the whole. We can certainly provide that and bring it back to next public if you like.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor. The third item for our committee has to do with a fitness equipment agreement, and this is with Spartan Fitness. The city has been holding a preventative maintenance contract for many years with Spartan Fitness, and the current service agreement for the fitness equipment maintenance between the city and Spartan Fitness is due to conclude on the 30th of April of this year. And there's a provision to extend this for another year if it's agreeable to both parties. And we talked about this, at length at our committee, and these preventative maintenance contracts are working very well for the city. These pieces of equipment that we purchase are not inexpensive. They're commercial grade, they're high quality, they get a lot of use. And we find that these maintenance contracts help extend the life. So again, we're here to recommend that we reach out to Spartan Fitness to determine if they are indeed interested in extending for an additional year this maintenance contract at a cost of $16,560, including HST. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Locke, seconded again by Councillor Fry. Thank you. Any questions? I don't think we'll need to bring this back to the table if they agree.
Right.
That's the spirit of the motion.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Carried.
And I thank you, Mayor.
Well, moving right along, Corporate Services, Public Works, I believe Councillor Lane is speaking first tonight.
Thank you very much. The first item on our agenda is the invoices for approval. The committee recommends that the following invoices totaling $527,594.12 be approved for payment. Council, as you can see there in your kits, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lane. Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Rice. Any questions, comments, observations? Last chance. I'll call the question. All in favor? And those opposed? Approved. Thank you.
Next item we have is our payment register report. For the information of council, the payment register report for January 16th to the 30th, 2024 totaled $2,392,241.32. And that's just for information purposes, council, as you can see there in your kits. And if nobody has any questions, I can move on to the next item, which is our travel request for the Chief Administrative Officer to the Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators, CAMA, conference in Mont-Tremblant, Quebec. I'm assuming I pronounced that correctly. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends that the approval of the Chief Administrative Officer to attend the 51st CAMA conference, an annual general meeting, taking place in Mont-Tremblant, Quebec, from Monday, May 26, 2025 to Wednesday, May 28, 2025. And I so move.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Lane, second by Councillor Rice. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is the travel request for the Director of Recreation and Community Safety to Sport Event Congress, Calgary, Alberta. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends the approval of the Director of Recreation and Community Services to the Sport Event Congress taking place in Calgary, Alberta from Sunday, May 18th, 2025 to Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, and I so move.
Just a second now, guys. Need to check the calendar. I think Is that March or May? March? So March 18th. Which is March 18th is a Tuesday to March 20th, Thursday, is that right? I think there just need to be a little bit of editing there. You okay with that, Councillor Lane? Yeah. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Thank you all. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried. Thanks.
Okay, and I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Number 5 on the agenda is our Housing Accelerator Fund application recommendations. So the city has received 3 eligible applications from interested parties to participate in the Housing Accelerator Fund, the HAF program. Applicants who meet the eligible requirements and criteria can receive $10,000 of total project costs dispersed upon the receiving their occupancy permit under the Homeowners Incentive Program. The HAV team have reviewed 3 applicants and have inspected all properties. All 3 applicants are applying for funding under the Homeowners Incentive Program with HAF, with the HAV funding. The applicants meet the criteria under the incentive program and are eligible for $10,000 each. So the Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends awarding the Housing Accelerator Fund in the amount of $10,000 each of the following properties: 4 Smallwood Drive, 33 Lindbergh Crescent, and 35 Jackman Drive. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, and thank you. Seconded by Councillor Lane. Any thoughts, questions, observations? Hearing none, I'll call the question. Those in favor and those opposed, carried.
Okay, number 6 is our Homeowner Incentive Program adjustment, our ADU policy across municipalities. So the city launched its Housing Accelerated Incentive Program in June of 2024. Since then, there have been a number of questions regarding incentive number 4, which was the homeowner's incentive. The current incentive offers residential properties owners to optimize their existing dwelling by offering a $20,000 grant to build accessory buildings within existing family homes or lots. And the second one will be a $10,000 grant for existing unapproved units to become legal. The eligibility for this is 1 incentive per civic address. So the city has prepared additional research and are proposing to restructure the program based on this information. So the accessory building units, ADU, are typically defined as a secondary, self-contained residential unit located on the same property as the primary home. The ADUs can take various forms, including basement apartments, backyard suites, garden suites, or tiny homes. The HAV funding promotes ADU development by offering grants and incentives to encourage municipalities to adopt policies and programs that make it easier for homeowners to build ADUs. The City of Mount Pearl is considering making changes to its homeowners incentive program, which currently reflects $20,000 for the construction of new single units, as well as $10,000 for the transformation of unapproved units to become legal. So recommendation from Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends reducing the grant to the consistent $5,000 for ADUs rather than the current amount of $20,000 and $10,000, with the availability to adjust funding amounts and or the criteria in the future. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Rice, seconded by Councillor Lane. This is just a policy rework, but what's the rationale for it is what I'm trying to drive at. I know you're changing it. It goes from this to that. What's the rationale? Is it to serve more, perhaps? And then Councillor Antle is after that, I think. Just want to clarify. Who's going to answer that one?
Yes.
Thank you. So we'll make the budget go further. All right, cool. Yeah. Councillor Antle, you wanted to chime in, sir?
Yes, Your Worship, and just I need some clarification for anybody who's paying attention on an ADU. When you talk about an ADU and an accessory dwelling unit, right, and based apartments, backyard suites, garden suites, or tiny homes, What's the regulations? So can we put, does that mean that anybody can put these tiny homes on their lots? Or is there some kind of report or permit? We have the, right? But if we're life, you just can't.
Yeah, this is a program policy change, but it only is going to happen if the accessory building policy or regulations, I'm looking at a couple of other people in the room, meets the requirements. I know what you're saying. This doesn't make it automatic, but I'd ask somebody, maybe like Director Batt, to comment.
Yeah, you'd still have to adhere to the zoning regulations in the municipal plan to make sure that you've got the requirement. You're meeting those requirements besides the one outlined just a second ago.
So John, yeah, so I agree with your zoning regulations. So maybe when somebody's listening, these accessory dwelling units are only if they meet zoning regulations, park.
Absolutely.
These keep on jumping off. Just so it's clear. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, this is only making the money available under the program, and then, of course, it has to meet the program. But I know where you're coming from, Councillor Handel. Tiny homes would be something fairly new. They'd have to be pretty tiny, and they'd have to meet the accessibility or accessory building requirements in our zoning and regulations. Deputy Mayor, you good? Okay, anybody else? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? And opposed? Carried.
Thank you, Your Worship. Our next, number 7, is our Public Works Status Report. So the following status report is provided for information. Under Roads Division, winter shift continues. Schedules are underway. Work continues with our outdoor rinks. And just as an FYI, on the 3 rinks are currently open. A couple of days ago, I know we had a meeting yesterday. The rinks are up and running and open. Hopefully the cold weather will stay there now and they'll continue to stay open. And there's a schedule actually online on the city site for that as well, regarding skating and the times you can book in for scrimmage hockey games. Under our Parks Division, our trail maintenance is ongoing. Our prep work for Frosty Festival is a busy time of the year, starting now Thursday night. So the city has been busy getting ready for Frosty Festival. A lot of prep work involved with that. And under our Fleet Division, our service and our maintenance continues. We had a little small bit of snow, so we're getting the I get the squeaks coming out of all of our equipment. We had the equipment up running. We did a full scope last Thursday night. Thursday night passed. I think all the streets were done. So we get to see what we need to make improvements on and what we need to repair. And under our winter equipment maintenance program is ongoing. And under a UTM division, general calls, water and sewer repairs, and water levels at Babel's Big Pond as of January 27, 2025 are attached in your schedule there under your kit. And we're at 38 feet by the look of it. So that's it for our report, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well done. Lots of work being done in those 2 departments. Planning, Engineering, and Development Committee. I'm looking at Councillor Deputy Mayor Kiley, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. And here is another committee that is doing incredible amount of work as well. It looks like we're doing the city is always busy. There's never a unbusy time, which is a great thing. I'm just going to put through 2 motions and then hand it over to my co-chair of our PED committee, Councillor Angel. The first one is a building and occupancy permit listing that is between January 20th and January 24th, 2025. And the Planning, Engineering, and Development Committee recommends that the residential and commercial building permits issued for this period having a total construction value of $512,000 and $515,200 be approved. Furthermore, the occupancy permit list be accepted as presented. And Your Worship, as you can see, the lists there are in your kit, and I so move.
Thank you very much. Moved by Deputy Mayor Kiley, seconded by Councillor Antle. We got building construction residential, construction commercial, and occupancy permits. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried.
Thank you. Thank you, Worship. That leads me to my second and final one for myself, and before I hand it over to Councillor Antle. And I just want to make sure, because of my, the first time the numbers got me, will you need me to say that amend, that, I just want to make sure it was in the minutes is proper?
What item number? Sorry?
Yeah.
Minutes?
Motion good? Okay, great.
For the permits?
Yeah.
Yeah, are we on number 2 now?
We are.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that I had said for number 1, that my mistake is okay and it's fine. Okay, so development permit listing January 20th to January 24th, 2024. The Planning and Engineering Committee, Development Committee, recommends that the development permits issued for this period be accepted as presented. And again, you can see the items there in your kit. There's only one item there. And I so move.
Thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Kiley, seconded by Councillor Antle. All in favor? Opposed? And that's carried.
Thank you. And I hand that off, I hand the last item off to Councillor Antle.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Yeah, this is the smallest committee report we'd have this year, I think. And as a capital works update regarding Farrell Drive to Topsail to Evans, the consultant is continuing with the design aspect and is preparing the final tender with anticipation release in early February 2025, which is in a couple of weeks. Jackman Drive, we're moving forward. The request for a proposal for consulting services was issued January the 15th, 2025, with a closing date of January 30th, 2025. An amendment to the RFP has extended that closing date to February the 3rd, with design to commence in winter of 2025. The anticipated tender for construction will be released in the spring of 2025, so it's on its way. And that's everything for our committee, Your Worship.
Jackman does not require any motion because the amendment was extended. So we're good. Okay, thank you very much. That's our business for today, Council. Moving right along, I'm going to start now the roundtable and Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple of small items for me. Number one, I just want to say I'm looking forward to the Frosty Festival coming up now on Thursday. It's going to be a busy 10 days of fun and excitement, and looking forward to that. And the second one, I just want to wish my father-in-law, his birthday is coming up Thursday, so I just want to wish him a happy birthday coming up. He'll be 86 on Thursday, February the 6th, so I just want to wish him good birthday wishes and good health, and that's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
Well said, Councillor Rice. Yep. And yes, happy birthday to Lauren Squires as well from all people here in this chamber. Councillor Lane, please.
Thank you. Just one item for me this evening. Actually, I had one of my colleagues ask today when our outdoor ice rinks are going to be up and ready to go. So great news. They are up and operating now. And just as a reminder, there are set times for those who wish to play hockey on the ice. That's 9 to 10 a.m., 12 to 1 p.m., and 3 to 4 a.m. The rest of the time it is designated for free skating for everyone. Make sure to bring a helmet if you go. Don't want any accidents happening. And a reminder that the locations are at the Team Gucci Sports Complex, Merle Drive, and Montclair Street. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of excited people ready to go skating. So enjoy, everyone. And that's it for me this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Over to you, Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. I want to send a huge congratulations to our Mount Pearl Paradise Skating Club. They're Open Starlights. They competed in an event that was open to everyone in the country. And do you know they won the gold medal? They are fabulous. I've seen them at their performances, the year-end performances, and they are so good and so in sync. So a huge congratulations to them. And the other thing for me, I know we had a meeting on Thursday evening. It was the annual general meeting for the Youth Opportunity Fund Foundation. And unfortunately, I couldn't make it because of my broken ankle. But I'm just wondering if there was an update on that meeting.
Director Collins, please. I believe there was a few people in attendance, mostly the board.
Yes, it was essentially the board. I believe there was one or two other people. The Youth Opportunity Fund is still there, so encourage people to reach out with applications and reach out to the city for any more information.
Can you tell me again what types of initiatives are covered under this fund?
Simply put, I would say it would be anything except sport. So the intent of this is for arts, for people to get out in the community, for youth, but the legacy fund that created the Youth Opportunity Fund coming out of the 2000 games was for things other than sport. So it could be music programs, instruments, robotics, you name it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, think youth, think community. And if you really want to do a good deep reach, think youth in need. There's a lot of youth in need out there in the city. It may not be widespread, and maybe the community safety plan may link up with this fund at the end of the day. Maybe that's an opportunity, Director. And thanks for bringing it up, Councillor Fry. Over to you, Councillor Locke. Deputy Mayor Kiley.
I just have to say I think there's some sort of, every time there's a day where there might be little malfunctions, things are dropping, mics in and out. Always, I'm superstitious, but it happens all at once. I'm just saying. And even again, my report, I think that was twice the numbers got me. And we had, there's something, okay. So good thoughts and feelings for tomorrow, and tomorrow is another day. But that actually, there's nothing for me as well, Your Worship.
Jeez, Councillor Anton, there's a lot of time built up. Are you going to take advantage of this situation, or I think Councillor Rice has given you the one item finger.
I have so many things to talk about going last, and I do have. One thing to talk about is that February is a good month. In the past week, I want to say happy birthday to 4 of my colleagues, right? Deputy Mayor had a birthday last week. Councillor Fry had a birthday a couple of days ago. And Councillor Locke has a birthday coming up Saturday, and it's a big birthday party. And I think I might join you. So happy birthday. There you go. So that's what I was getting around the way. Anyhow, but I'll leave that alone. Just a quick note on our committee meeting today. Anybody has a chance to go down and take a look, Team Guja, the steel is up and it's amazing. When you get a chance, go down and when you come down Smaller Drive, you can see the steel. It's so exciting. Our community centre is starting to go, and in another couple of months, we'll be skating on our loop. Anyhow, that's it for me. Great meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I don't really have anything except it's good to see you all, and I want to wish you all the best over the next 10 days with the Frosty Festival, and don't get too tired because we'll have another meeting in 2 weeks' time. So good to see everybody, and on motion from Councillor Locke, seconded by the Deputy Mayor, we're adjourned.